Ahoy there, matey! Welcome back to the Critical Fools. You're watching a very special 3-part mini-series of The Quiet Year for our upcoming Waterdeep campaign. This is part 2. A link to part 1 is in the description, but make sure you're subscribed to the channel to be notified when the final part comes out. On with the adventure.
Whose turn is it? I'm so sorry.
It's my turn, isn't it? Yeah, it's my turn. I think. Right?
Okay. So you need a card then, right?
Yes.
4 of Summer.
The eldest among you dies. What caused the death? Or the eldest among you is very sick. Caring for them and searching for a cure requires the help of the entire community. Do not reduce project dice this week. Oh, so does that mean all the projects still stay at what they were
Yes.
prior to this? Okay. Let's go with the eldest among you is very sick.
Okay.
Ooh.
Probably that bitch that spoke up during.
Yeah, I was gonna say about
Okay.
the box guy. The
Okay,
box
so-
guy.
So with that, they needed to kind of, you can say, quarantine them from the rest of the community while they did their. So I'm going to say kind of right around. Let's go right around to this area. A makeshift hospital. It's not great by any means right now. It's kind of
True
where
that.
they're putting where the future hospital building will be. They're going to go outside the city, search for herbs and anything that they could use to help produce any medicine.
All right. And so any folks that would be working on this housing project, which is our only project currently, are helping care for this old person. So the projects do not go down this week. Josh, start a project, discover something new, or hold a discussion.
In the midst of these people going out to search for medicine and whatnot, they come across kind of right around there. I'm just gonna leave it like that. What seems to be a mine of sorts, and they're gonna look into that to see if they can get anything useful from that to help rebuild the city and help this elderly person.
Okay.
And it'll take 2-3 weeks.
Okay, so you've both discovered something new and started a project. If you want them to, if you want to do a project to search for something, you can pick something already on the map.
Oh, okay.
Up to you. So you can keep your mine, or you can have someone go investigate that gold mine up top, or anything else. If you want to discover that mine, that's okay too. And then maybe someone will start a project to investigate.
Okay, yeah,
it.
let's do that.
Okay. Chris's turn. The Jack of Summer.
Ooh. Predators and bad omens are afoot. You are careless and someone goes missing under ominous circumstances. Who? Or, predators and bad omens are afoot. What measures do you take to keep everyone safe and under surveillance? Do not reduce project dice this week. Well, I mean, people have already started going missing up north. I want to start taking measures to keep everyone in the city safe now. I think this is the perfect chance to build that wall.
So we're going to take extra precautions then.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, my internet is not good, so you cut out a little bit. So we're not going to reduce the project dice this week. Is your action to start a project to build a wall?
Yes.
How many weeks is the wall going to take?
6. Can I draw the outline of where this wall is going to be? Okay.
That'd probably be good.
Back on this project thing that I started or wanting to start. Some of the people they just wanted to dig into the ground to try to find something instead of going out to find something on the surface. Would that work? And
they wanted to dig to find cures for the old person.
See if they can find anything underground.
I see.
Could that play into it?
It could, but again, you can discover something or you can start a project.
Okay.
So that can be how they discovered it. And then if we want more concrete, what are they finding there? What good is it for our community? We'll do a project for it.
Okay.
Is that the wall, Chris? The blue line?
Right. Yes. So a few things. This is just one section of the wall that'll take 6 weeks to build.
Okay.
But also notice how it's cutting through some of the area in the city that some of the poor people live in.
Yeah.
That's something to keep in mind.
Yes. I forgot we can take points of contempt in the game, and I don't know that it actually quantifies as anything, but I imagine I'm going to take a point of contempt for the wall because of our old person who's living in boxes right now. They think that's shitty. So
Well,
there is contempt.
now this is going through their box homes, so
Yeah. So there's at least 1 point of contempt, and you can take contempt on any action or anything. And I imagine that will just factor into the peacefulness of the community as we're playing the actual campaign. It's my turn, I think. Queen of Summer. A project finishes early. Which one? Why? Or if there are no projects underway, boredom leads to a quarrel. A fight breaks out between two people. What is it about? So there are only 2 projects, and I can't imagine the wall project is going to finish 6 weeks early. So the housing project is going to finish early. I think with the just the unrest of this new wall project, probably the poorer in the community are like, we need to fucking go. So they start really piling together their resources and making their homes, making, instead of small individual homes, together homes, like one big house for them, like a I don't know, like a hotel, but not like a community living space.
Apartments.
Not quite so nice. So a community living space, probably with several like bunk beds and things like that, with the opportunity for smaller apartments to come out of it. But right now, so everyone poor is now sheltered in this one large makeshift home. And then the project dice get to count down. Hooray! Yay! Not dice, but counters. 5 weeks left on the wall project. 3 weeks until a world event. I am going to start a project to investigate the spooky fish, as they have killed many of them and discovered that they are at least useful for armor and swimwear, perhaps, because they have resistances to water. My project is going to be to see if the spooky fish are edible and how we can use those for food. So fish food project, I'm going to say, is going to take probably 2 weeks, because it's not going to take long to find out if they kill people when you eat them. So that makes it Stefan's turn. Your card is the 10 of Summer.
You discover a cache of supplies or of resources added to abundance. A scarcity has gone addressed for too long. Start a project that will alleviate that scarcity. What do we have for scarcities?
Food is one of our scarcities right now. I just started a project about food, and so yeah, food is a scarcity. We probably have a scarcity in unity in the community, because there's a lot of contention right now. I can't say we have an abundance of housing. So yeah, anything you think the community is lacking in, you can start a project for that.
I'm gonna add an abundance.
Okay.
Maybe like someone was looking on the outskirts of the city and they found like a little like not like vegetables, but like herbs and
Okay.
all like stuff that you can make for like, I guess, little things of food. Like, I guess some vegetables and fruits, but not
Okay.
all, just enough of it, I guess.
Can you draw your
Yeah.
garden? Is it magical in nature, or is it just a regular garden?
I think it's just one of those. I think it's just like a wild garden. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Kind of, yeah. Just kind of right out of town, not too far.
Okay. Awesome. And then we count down. Clocks here. 2 weeks on a world event. 4 weeks on the wall. Hate that. 1 week on if the fish are edible. And then Stefan, you can hold a discussion, start a project, or discover something new.
Let's start a discussion, I guess.
Okay, go ahead.
So what do you guys think about the maybe new source of food that we found outside of town?
I think it's great. But if we don't take care of it, it's not going to last very long.
Like they said, like if we don't take care of it, probably should make it bigger, and so we can get more variety of food as well.
Why did we plant it all the way out there and not closer to the wall so we can feed the workers? Like, they need their sustenance.
We didn't plant it. It was just there.
Okay. Wow. This community is heading somewhere.
Waterdeep fucking sucks, bro.
Josh, it's your turn.
All right.
Here is your card. It is the Ace of Summer.
Contingent within the community demand to be heard. Who are they? What are they asking for? Or contingent within the community have acted on their frustrations. What have they damaged, and why did they damage? Is it permanent? So this contingent is like, I'm going to say a lot of these poorer folk closer to where these water monsters are frustrated that the wall is not being built, starting to build on their side of town. So they took out not much of it. They took out about this much of wall, causing it to be delayed by at least ruining about a week's worth of wall.
Okay, so we won't count down the wall clock this week. Again, if you would like to take a point of contempt at any time, I just know there are people very attached to the wall here.
Yeah, I want to take one.
Okay, so we got 2 contempts. I don't know how we quantify that, but it's getting contentious up in here. The other clocks count down 1 week on a world event. Fish food has completed. So I think the bravest among us or the most desperate of the poorer folk, have been sort of researching these spooky fish carcasses. They find that eating it raw makes folks violently sick, but cooking it and smoking it seem to be fine. Obviously, the meat parts are edible. The organs are also edible. So the spooky fish are about completely edible. And I think what with that and our wild garden, food is probably no longer a scarcity.
Yeah.
All right. I'd agree.
I don't know if it's necessarily an abundance, so I'll just put it in the middle here. I do have a list of our scarcities and abundances.
Okay, good.
So that's how that project resolves. Josh, you get to hold a discussion, start a project, or discover something new.
I'm going to start the project of. So in this mine, when they started digging, they found, I want to say rather deep, that there was a lot of clay and what seems to be huge pockets of like iron and other minerals.
Okay.
So they started to harvest this to a small percentage of what they found is going to the gated community to help build that up a little more, and the rest of it is going to the rest of the community.
Okay.
Build more homes and.
So how about we start a project for them harvesting that stuff? I imagine it'll take some time. How long do we want on mining?
Let's say 5 weeks because there's a lot.
Okay. So maybe something good will come from that.
Yeah, the plan is to build the homes up faster.
Okay.
Than anything else that we need.
So that makes it Chris's turn. The 3 of summer.
Summer is a time for production and tending to the earth. Start a project related to food production, or summer is a time for conquest and the gathering of might. Start a project related to military readiness and conquest.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm going to start a project about the military.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
No.
What do you want your project? What's the goal of your project?
I guess the project right now is just to defend the wall, and it's to protect the wall from anyone trying to tear it down.
Okay. So would you call this wall force? The Waterdeep wall force, maybe?
I mean, it's more just like, because after the wall is completed, there'll still be a force. They can still, like a militia type thing.
Okay.
Right now, they're just more focused on the wall.
How long is the project for military readiness going to take?
It's going to take 1 week because there are lots of people ready to fight. Okay.
All right. We'll count down these clocks. World clock finishes. So in the night, there is a large commotion. You hear a lot of ruckus. Not like people ruckus, but like earth ruckus. So like crashing and banging. And the ravine starts to close up. Just a little, not like a continual thing, but it seems that a large like tectonic event has occurred and the ravine has gotten a much smaller opening now. So those folks that went missing in the tunnels down there are going to be a lot harder to reach, and investigating the ravine is also going to be a little more dangerous as rocks have fallen and become loose. The wall has 3 weeks left. Mining has 4. Chris, starting a project, discovering something new, or holding a discussion?
I'm going to discover something.
Okay.
While they were building the wall over on the western side of town, they discovered some more water tunnels. They don't know how far out it goes, but they just know that there's a series of them going up the coastline there.
Oh,
Water tunnelage
okay.
on max.
All right. Oh, my turn. Okay. King of Summer. Summer is fleeting. Discard the top 2 cards off the deck and take 2 actions this week. So what I'm going to do with that is click through the next 2 cards, and we won't get those. And then I'll take 2 actions, so I'll start 2 projects, hold 2 discussions, whatever. So I guess project dice will still count down. I'll take 1 action. No, we'll do the dice first. So mining, you have 3 weeks left. Wall has 2 weeks. The Wall Force Militia project has completed. Chris, what becomes of that? What comes of it?
Right. So now that they have a group of people protecting the wall, they can start working overnight. They can start spending more time working on it because they're not worried about being protected or not. So now that 1 week of wall damage is going to be able to be made up, and the project will finish on time.
Okay, so there will be 1 week left for the wall. So next week it'll finish.
All right.
Alrighty. That, and then the rest still need finished up. My first action, I think I'm going to start a project for the Wild Garden. I am going to have some folks there tending it, expanding it, and just sort of harvesting more things. So these people are essentially just going to be gardeners, and I think it'll take 3 weeks for them to really get the hang of it and become probably the community's first farmers. Well, new first farmers since the fallout, whatever. Maybe I'll start 2 projects. I will start a new project, I think. Or I guess this is probably best in a discussion. I'll hold a discussion. We, the less wealthy of the community, are upset that the gated community is taking more resources and not sharing with the rest of us.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the gated community should have less, considering that they already have more than a vast majority of us.
Well, I think maybe if you guys had more money, you wouldn't be complaining about us.
Well, more of the resources coming out of this mining expedition are already going to you guys than are coming to us people in the gated community.
All right. I think probably a point of contempt will be taken just because that's just a very contentious thing happening going on right now. Okay. So those are the 2 actions. And then unfortunately, we have to click through these 2 cards instead of having them. The 6 of Summer we will have to skip, and it would have been outsiders arrive in the area. Why are they a threat? How are they vulnerable? Or outsiders arrive in the area. How many? How are they greeted? And we lose the 2 of Summer, which is someone new arrives, who, why are they in distress? Or someone leaves the community, who, and what are they looking for? Stefan, it's your turn.
Okay.
It is the 9 of Summer that we get to play again.
A project fails. Which one and why? Or something goes foul and supplies are ruined. Add a new scarcity.
So our projects, including the projects I had forgotten, my bad, are the water tunnels. So people are investigating the water tunnels, see what's up with them. The wall project, which has 1 week left, and the wild garden farming project.
And the
if
mining.
you choose those. And the mining project. There it is, right there. Right there it is.
I won't screw up the wall. It's been going on for so long. Shoot, this is tough. Maybe I'll ruin the... I mean, I don't have to ruin, but I feel like it's better than scarcity, almost. I think I'll ruin the mining one.
Okay. So why does the mining project fail?
And is this the cave that's like up in the top left? Or
No, this
No,
is like
it's in the center of the map on the east side.
wait.
between the hospital and the tower.
It's over here.
Oh, okay. I see it. I guess, yeah. Something about when they were going down, and they were trying to get more of the supplies. When the ravine closed a bit, as it already had, it blocked off a decent amount of where they would like to go deeper in the mine, or when they wanted to get more supplies. So it kind of halted their progress, and they would need a lot of manpower to get that stuff moved, or something to help them get that moved. So they were forced to back out and head back to town.
Okay. So we had a little mine collapse. Happens. The wall has finished.
All right. Well, like you said, the wall is it's finished. Nothing really. They didn't run into any other kind of hiccups or failures or anything. Now they just have this big wall up to the north, and now they have a militia that's looking for someone to fight now because now they have a lot of free time.
Okay. Then we do have 2 weeks left on the water tunnels now that I've remembered them. 2 weeks on the wild garden, and the mining has failed, so that will not count down. Steph, hold a discussion, start a project, or discover something new.
I'm gonna discover something new. You build
Go ahead.
onto existing whatever already. Can you build onto existing stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Even though it may be kind of far away from said sinkhole over here, like the bottom left whirlpool, whatever you want to call
Oh,
it.
right.
The whirlpool.
There's like sometimes at night, every so often, daytime, no matter what time it is, very like scarcely, like maybe once a week, maybe even twice a week, you'll very scarcely hear like whispers. You don't know what it is, you don't know where it is, you don't know where it's coming from, but all they know is that it's if someone was brave enough, they would know where it's coming from. But as of now, it's just every so often, not even that long. It could be like 2 seconds of whispering, it's gone.
So are folks mostly in the southern half of the community hearing these?
Yeah,
Whispers?
it's more common in the southern half, but
Okay.
it's also heard like everywhere, I guess, in Waterdeep.
Okay. Whispers. Josh, it is your turn. The 7 of Summer.
Introduce a mystery at the edge of the map, or an unattended situation becomes problematic and scary. What is it? How does it go away?
That could be our projects. We have the water tunnels in the wild garden, or it could be, the bones up above the wall, or maybe we stop paying attention to the water creatures long enough that. So anything you want that is unattended can become scary, if that's what you want to pick.
Having been nearly forgotten about, the water creatures have pushed up closer to this hospital area.
Ooh.
So the sightings are more, I'm not let's say like they see them all the time, but more common. Farther.
So more of them are getting brave. They're walking on land more than living in water.
Yeah.
That's upsetting.
And it's a little harder to take these ones down. It's seeming to be.
Okay.
It's like, oh my god.
So it says, how does this situation go away? Does it go away? What do you think?
For now, it does because the militia that had just finished this wall came down and eradicated the ones that they were able to find. Some were able to slip away and get back to the water, but they're hoping that they don't seem to go even further north into the city.
Okay. So water creatures are becoming an issue. The water tunnels project has 1 week. The wild garden project has 1 week. Yeah, Josh, do you want to discover something new, start a project, or hold a discussion?
Start a project. Thanks to these water creatures that have seemed to be a problem lately. Those, especially in the militia, have decided that in this part of the map, right around here, that they're going to start building, you can say, where a future navy would be. So they're getting supplies to build boats and weaponry to help deal with these NEC creatures that might present a problem.
Okay, how long is our Navy project going to take?
Let's say they're pretty serious about it, so they're going to take 4 weeks.
All right. It is Chris's turn. The 5 of Summer.
A project finishes early, what led to its early completion, or the weather is nice and people can feel the potential all around them. Start a new project. What projects did we have going on?
Sure. So we have the investigation of the water tunnels and the wild garden. Both of those would finish this week. And then the Navy project has 4 weeks.
Let's do the garden.
So if the garden finishes early, I think I still say what happens with it. These people were regular city folk. They weren't really farmers before this sort of collapse. So they're not awesome at the food production. They're probably having a lot of trial and error with what crops can live here and how well they handle them. So probably the garden expands a little bit, but it's going to take some time before they really get a lot of food coming out of it. So the garden's a little bigger and there's some spices and things like that, but we haven't gotten any really big food crops going. So not a lot of like root vegetables or anything super useful. The clocks count down. The water tunnels project finishes. So curious folks went into the water tunnels or started to investigate them. They want to see what's happening. I should have been thinking. I had forever to think about it before I forgot about them. I think what they discover is that the tunnels lead to some underwater, like some tide pools. So the ends of a lot of these tunnels end in caves that have little pools in them. And there are fish and things in there. They haven't really looked into catching them or anything, but for now it's a cool little relaxing area and could turn into a food source or something else. So water tunnels have tide pools. And then the Navy project goes down to 3 weeks. Chris, are you going to start a project, discover something new, or hold a discussion?
Up north, where these water tunnels are, there's a few like docks along the area that for some reason just like I don't know, no one ventured underneath them to try to find these tunnels or anything. So they're just kind of there, and then people enjoy just kind of fishing up there. You know?
Okay. So folks are fishing. That's fun. The 8 of Summer. Someone tries to take control of the community by force. Do they succeed? Why do they do this? Or a headstrong community member decides to put one of their ideas in motion, start a foolish project.
Another wall. Let's go.
Okay. This headstrong community member is in the poorer faction of folks, and they are tired of the gated community getting more than they get. So to keep the gated community out of their community, they are going to start a project to build a different wall around the gate. So to keep the gated community out of the poor community. So this project is going to take a full 6 weeks because we don't have a lot of resources. Second gate is going to take 6 weeks. And the Navy project will count down to 2 weeks left. And then I think I'll start a project to build this hospital, this one that we had quarantined our old person in the peach color down here. They're going to start some major construction to make a good ass hospital. So that'll probably take 5 weeks. What with a few folks helping out with second wall or second gate. It probably could have been done sooner, but it cannot. And now joining us again is Kaylee. She is available, and we are so glad to have her as part of the world building process. And we have now crossed over into autumn. Things in the quiet year get, what's the word? Just difficult in the autumn. So not maybe worse, maybe okay. So with that, we are at Stefan's turn.
My turn.
Steph, your card is the 8 of Autumn.
Sabotages a project and the project fails as a result. Who did this and why? Or someone is caught trying to sabotage the efforts of the community. How does the community respond? So what projects do we have going?
Right now, we have the Navy project, we have the second gate project, and then we have the hospital.
All right, I think I'm going to sabotage the second gate project.
Okay. Who sabotages it?
The old man.
The one that lives in the boxes?
Yep.
A creepy old man.
Okay, he sabotages it. Why did he do that?
He's fed up with the gated community getting everything in this city. It seems like, to him anyway. And
That's why they started the Gate Project, though.
yeah,
The Gate Project was because a foolish person of the poorer community was like, well, we don't like them, so we want to keep them away from us, actually.
no, I meant other way around. Sorry, that's not.
Okay.
What his idea was. There's literally no reason to build a gate within a gate that leads to nothing other than the gated community.
Okay. That's fair. So the second Gate Project has failed. Let's just delete that.
Goodbye.
Bad boy.
And Kaylee,
I'm going to take a point of contempt.
Yes. Okay. I'll add
Oh.
that. Kaylee, you can take contempt at any time if something happens that you think would make the community like angry or contentious. And we'll just use that to sort of inform how decisions are made and like the status of the community once we actually start playing the campaign. So the Navy project counts down, has 1 week left. The hospital has 4 weeks left. We'll just go ahead and add a world event clock. World event clock is at 5 weeks. Stefan, are you going to start a project, discover something new, or hold a discussion?
Let's start a project. If possible, I guess try to explore the ravine. Maybe stuff has changed since closing.
How long is that going to take?
We're gonna go 3 weeks. It's gonna be a more extensive stay, I guess.
Okay, great. And then next is Josh.
right.
Your card is the what?
Jack of Autumn.
Jack of
Jack
Autumn.
of
All right.
Autumn.
Project finishes early. Which one? Why? There are no projects underway. Relentlessness creates animosity, which leads to violence. Who gets hurt? All right. So
We do have projects. So we have the
Thank
Navy
God.
project, we have the hospital project, and the ravine project.
Well, since the Navy is almost done, I'm not going to do that. And the ravine just started. Hospital finishes early.
Okay. Why?
They kind of remember this from what happened, why this little area got started in the first place, because of the old elderly person that got sick, and they don't want people to have to wait any longer and run the risk of not getting help that they need. So they rush it, but they do a good enough job that it's ready to go and fully operational. I will get rid
There's our hospital.
I'll
All
get rid of
right. Well, dope.
Oh,
There's the hospital. It's a rectangle.
perfect.
Sweet.
Hospital.
Okay. Then we'll count down the clocks. Josh, I think, is the Navy project yours?
It is mine.
The Navy project has finished. What happens?
All right. On the map it shows just says Navy, but since they worked so hard, you can say it's rather big Navy for this size community. It's created a number of jobs that the poor folk could have, whether they're actually in service or they're just they're kind of building things and helping out. Now Waterdeep is able to go out into the water and protect our community from these sea monsters that have gotten farther into the city at times.
There are spooky fish, Kaylee. They're essentially alligators
who have grown legs. Really
yeah,
big
they
legs.
were fish and now they're alligator essentially. So I
That's
didn't
what
know
assumed
that.
them to be. I assumed them to be. I don't know.
Oh God. Okay, they're bipedal alligators.
Oh,
Josh,
boy.
do you want to draw a boat or something with the Navy? And then World Clock has 4 weeks and the Ravine has 2.
Sure.
Then it's Josh's turn still. Are you going to start a project, discover something new, or hold a discussion?
Okay. I'm going to start a project.
Okay.
It's going to be, I was going to initial kind of where it's going to be. So we have food farms, but we're going to start building what could be considered like an animal farms, where we'd keep any animals like cattle or like sheep if they wandered too far. We're gonna place that pretty. This is where it will be relatively close.
Okay.
So we can do all farming in one little area.
A ranch. Okay.
Yeah,
How long
yes.
is the ranch project going to take?
It shouldn't take too long. Let's say 2 weeks.
So while that project finishes, maybe think of like what creatures we found in the area that we can ranch. Okay, Chris, it is your turn. You get the 3 of Autumn.
Someone leaves the community after issuing a dire warning. Who? What is the warning? Or someone issues a dire warning and the community leaps into action to avoid disaster. What is the warning? Start a contentious project that relates to it. All right, so what happens is, so this guy's name is Jack. Okay? He is one of the richer people in the community. He lives in the gated community, in the gated part of town. He's leaving to go on vacation, so to speak. But he's letting all the townspeople know that the people in the gated community are no longer going to buy and sell products from the poor merchants because they're pissed off that they were trying to build the second gate.
Oh no. Okay.
That's not good.
I think I'll go ahead and take a point of contempt for the poor of the community because obviously that's uncool. So gated community no longer wants to buy and sell with the poor.
Just wait, it's going to get worse.
Oh no.
Kill the gated community.
Okay, I'll count down the projects. Ravine project has 1 week. Ranch project has 1 week. World clock is on 3. Chris, do you want to hold a discussion, start a project, or discover something new?
I'm going to start a project.
Okay.
This is going to be a 6-week project. Up here in the north, at the end of these tunnels, the rich people are going to start mining for new materials in the hope that they can find this brand new material that the poor people don't have, and they can start a brand new currency system without them.
Oh my god. Okay, so underwater mining, 6 weeks. It's getting real in Waterdeep.
Waterdeep's divided. Everything sucks.
Thank you for checking out the Critical Fools. New campaign episodes go up every Saturday morning on YouTube and your favorite podcast services. Don't forget to follow us on social media to stay up on what we're doing outside the show.